And on a day when we celebrate the true meaning of American citizenship, we are truly fortunate to be joined by Charlottesville's own Khizr Khan, an advocate for constitutional rights, religious liberty, civic engagement, and importantly, national unity. Born in rural Pakistan as the eldest of 10 children, Mr. Khan cites his first readings of U.S. founding documents, most notably the Declaration of Independence, as the inspiration for pursuing American citizenship. He and his wife, Ghazala, immigrated to the United States from Pakistan in 1979. They became citizens 6 years later. Mr. Khan attended Harvard Law School. He's a member of the Bar of the United States Supreme Court, the Washington, D.C. State Bar, the New York State Bar, and the American Bar Association. He specializes in commercial civil litigation, health privacy law, and veterans, women's, and children's rights. Mr. and Mrs. Khan are also Gold Star parents. Through their activism, they honor their son, Humayun Khan, a University of Virginia graduate and United States Army captain. He died in 2004 while trying to stop a suicide bomber in Iraq. Captain Khan's heroism saved the lives of more than 100 soldiers. He was posthumously awarded a Purple Heart and the Bronze Star. Mr. Khan has authored 2 books. His first, An American Family, a memoir of hope and sacrifice, a copy of which he has kindly donated as a gift to our new citizens today. It's a timeless immigrant story. It reveals his deep admiration for our founding documents. His second book, This Is Our Constitution, Discover America with a Gold Star Father, educates young people about the Constitution, what it says, and why it matters for everyone. Mr. Khan cherishes the values embodied in the Declaration of Independence, and his family has paid the ultimate sacrifice in defense of those values. His voice is one of hope, patriotism, and inspiration, and we are honored to have him with us today. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Mr. Khizr Khan.
Good morning. Today, we are gathered to celebrate 243rd anniversary of the day of our independence and Monticello's 57th annual Independence Day celebration and naturalization ceremony. But first, my sincere gratitude to our veterans and their families, our women and men serving in uniform today, and their families. Members of our law enforcement, members of our national intelligence, our civil service, our foreign service, our Congress, and our judiciary, and the families serving along with these patriots, we are grateful to you for keeping the flame of liberty burning bright and your service to the nation with exemplary dedication, even during the most challenging circumstances. We are grateful to you. Thank you. And my sincere thanks to Thomas Jefferson Foundation, its president, Leslie Greene Bowman, Honorable John Charles Thomas, Trustee Emeritus, and Ann Taylor, and the Foundation's dedicated staff. Thank you for the invitation to participate in this sacred and inspiring ceremony, reflection of soul of America, reminding us of the past and giving us hope for a better future. Also, a special word of appreciation to our public servants and municipal band of Charlottesville who have joined us today in making this ceremony possible and celebratory. Congratulations to soon-to-be new Americans. We welcome nearly 80 new citizens over 35 countries around the world. Among you are future Nobel laureates, technology innovators, teachers, bankers, lawyers, healthcare providers, employers, professionals, wage workers, with one common theme of dignity of hard work and dedication to make own life and life of families and communities better. It is reported that all immigrants, by their hard work and determination to do better, make America stronger and prosperous. Not too long ago, I sat in similar ceremony with gratitude in my heart for being elevated in human dignity by this nation about which I only could dream since I first read the Declaration of Independence of the United States in 1972 when I was a law student in Pakistan. I was then and even today remain in awe of the spirit of this blessed nation. I remember reading the Declaration of Independence while standing in my university dorm room, all 1,238 words of it and all 18 grievances listed against then King, how similar I realized these grievances were to the grievances of the entire colonized world. I then read the articles of our Constitution. Yes, Article 1, People's Congress will be the supreme legislative body of this blessed democracy, will also perform sacred duty of checks and balances and oversight of the government. Regardless of today's challenges to its sanctity, I thought then and still believe our Congress remains supreme institution of our democracy, and it was the intent of our forefathers to place our Congress as Article 1 institution of our system of government. Then I read the Article 2, the executive presidency, and then Article 3, the judiciary, and I understood how this civilized nation will lead the mankind by example of civility, tolerance, debate over differences, and respect for all opinion. Then came the best part, our Bill of Rights. I call our Bill of Rights a sacred document in which human dignities are enshrined. I was then and remain today in awe of our First Amendment, the freedom of conscience, for which many nations and their leaders have come to America to learn how to uplift their people in dignity. Let me read. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press. Yes, abridging the freedom of speech or of the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. What an honor for me to be humbly standing at the steps of Mr. Jefferson's home, and as a proud resident of Charlottesville, Virginia, a blessed city of Thomas Jefferson, and home of Mr. Jefferson's University, the University of Virginia, I have also read the forerunner to the First Amendment of the United States Constitution, the Virginia Statute of Religious Freedom, adopted by the Virginia Assembly in January 1786, and like the Declaration of Independence, was also written by Thomas Jefferson. I also read with inquiry our 13th Amendment abolishing slavery in 1865 and our 19th Amendment, women's right to vote, adopted in 1919, and wondered why these human dignities came so late. But these years of adoption of amendments tell the world of our history of moving forward with the American experience, and that so much still needs to be done. Having compared our Constitution with other nations of the world, yes, I have done that exercise. I state there is none like our rule of law, our separation of power, our checks and balances, not perfect, but with most human dignities enshrined in these American values. The constitutions of other countries grant their people what their government decides they deserve, but ours is we the people, we tell the government what it can do. Read the first 5 words of our First Amendment: Congress shall make no laws, a telling of American spirit. As we pay tribute to our liberty and freedom today, we must remind ourselves how it was before American Declaration of Independence, so we can appreciate why America matters to the mankind. We are aware of the history of mankind ruled by thousands of years by the kings, princes, dictators, and authoritarians. Ordinary person like myself was to listen to the dictator's decree, follow it silently, but only until the American Declaration of Independence in 1776. When America said, "We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness." Today we celebrate this blessed day in our history at the doorsteps of its author, Thomas Jefferson, when for the first time in the history of mankind, Americans declared that they will self-govern as free people. Today we pay our utmost respect to that love of freedom, which did not come without significant cost to the original signatories to the Declaration of Independence. We express our most profound gratitude for their sacrifice, and since then thousands of those who gave all at the altar of freedom so that we could enjoy the human dignities that mankind had yearned from beginning. We promise to them today, and you soon to be new Americans included, that we will never forget them and generations of patriots who gave us the freedoms we cherish today by sacrificing their all. As the vigilance of our national security leaders has shown and warned us that our adversaries have attacked our institution of democracy, our sacred system of elections, and our unity. Our adversaries of human dignity, had shrewdly realized one weakness in our democratic system: our lack of participation in our election process. So they decided to malign our elections by sowing division and hatred among us. They have done same in other parts of the world with some success, but now the world has come to realize, like most of us, that America will not stand silently while corrupt dictators, authoritarians, kings, and rulers continue to attack our sovereignty. If you want to see the proof of our realization, see the level of participation in the past election. It is reported that in 2018 elections, a record number of Americans participated to protect our democracy, our freedoms, from the attacks by our adversaries, and to shield American elections from cyber and social media interference by our adversaries. As soon to be newly minted citizens, you must remember to register to vote today. Your country Your country has bestowed the highest honor, the honor of citizenship upon you. It is your turn now and every election henceforward to participate, not only by voting, but to remain engaged in your communities. Seek elected office, lead your community. Never underestimate the power of the opportunity you have been given by this blessed nation, our nation. Always remember that to live a successful life in democracy, you must have voice. Build your voice with service to your nation. When I became a citizen like you, I also recited the same oath of citizenship that you recite today, and I remember a certain part of it every day. Forgive me if I lose my composure when I cite that one line of the oath of citizenship that I took. I recite it every day, and that is that I support and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. I promise myself to obey all laws, pay my taxes timely. Yes, pay my taxes timely. And participate in our system of democracy to strengthen it, and keeping my promise to my country after 2016, even though it has been difficult at times, as each speaking engagement reminds the valor and sacrifices of many sons and daughters of America, like our son, Captain Humayun Khan, who gave everything for something greater than themselves in the service of this nation. I have continued to speak for our Constitution, for our unity and democracy, as Humayun would have wanted us to do under the current circumstances. Today is my 253rd speaking engagement nationwide and internationally. I have continued to speak also due to concerns expressed in one letter that I received in 2016. It was written by a retired military nurse with 20 years of service, including in Second World War in Europe. She wrote in the last paragraph of her long letter to me, Mr. Khan, continue to speak, remind us what is at stake. The similarities of intolerance, hate, and division, attacks on most vulnerable community of immigrants and communities of faith, attacks on our places of worship are so similar to the time of pre-Second World War in Europe. Had more people spoken then, mankind could have avoided the atrocities committed before and during Second World War. Continue to speak. So I have continued to speak. To our soon-to-be new citizens, you do same. Speak, organize, vote, and do your most what you can from your platform as dignified citizens of this blessed nation. You're the North Star of this great nation, a nation of immigrants. In conclusion, I'm a patriotic immigrant American. I am a Muslim also, but being Muslim is circumstantial to my calling. I am here to remind all of us the holy maxims of enlightenment and reason that we all can agree provide for a path to greater social justice, and here I pay tribute to the hard work and sacrifices of our civil rights leaders to uplift all of us in this blessed nation. So much more still remains to be done. Our neighbor is not to blame. Her hand is what we hold in facing the challenges of ever-changing world. I remind us the quote from Reagan's farewell address to the nation. I remember standing up in front of the television at home with the same awe I felt when I first read the Declaration of Independence in 1972, but this was 1989. Reagan had completed his second term, and in his farewell speech he said, "I have spoken of the shining city all my political life, but I don't know if I ever quite communicated what I saw when I said it. But in my mind, it was a tall, proud city built on rocks, stronger than oceans, wind-swept, God-blessed, and teeming with people of all kinds, living in harmony and peace. A city with free ports that hummed with commerce and creativity. And if there had to be city walls, the walls had doors, and the doors were open to anyone with the will and the heart to get here. That is how I saw it. That is how I saw it and see it still, Reagan said. Our your and mine story is like that of John Winthrop, an early pilgrim, seeking freedom of conscience and choice and finding the shining city on the hill. Now that shining city needs you and me and our voice so that it continue to be a beacon for all free-minded people in the world. Let's stand in solidarity as Americans, soon to be newly minted, like you and myself and those who came long before, to tell the world we still believe in America. Yes, we still believe in America. We believe in equal dignity. We believe in equal dignity as enshrined in our Constitution, our Bill of Rights. We believe in the dignity of asylum seekers, children separated from family and caged at our border, which reminds us of the concentration camps of the Second World War. We join the courageous voice of our asylum officers. That current program is fundamentally contrary to the moral fabric of our nation of immigrants. Again, happy 243rd Independence Day, and soon to be new citizens, new Americans. Congratulations. God bless you. God bless and protect the United States of America. Thank you very much.